Hi everyone, myself and Evan will be sharing with you some nutritional tactics for this year's upcoming Tour de Picnic. As you all know, Tour de Picnic is an 80-kilometre bike ride and a 17-kilometre cross-country run all the way to Electric Picnic. Three great charities, Laura Lynn, the ISPCC and Ronald McDonald House will gain from your endeavours on Friday, September 2nd. For more information, head to tourdepicnic.ie. So Evan, we're going to stop here at one of the many refuelling stations on the Tour de Picnic route. What kind of tactics do you have for during exercise?
Yeah, so basically Sinead, if we go back to that idea that carbohydrates are like currency for the exercise we are doing, it kind of sets the tone. So what we're basically looking for are carbohydrate rich items, and that can be a number of things. So for a cyclist, primarily what we're looking at, because it's a bit logistically easier for cyclists, we can go for things like scones, croissants, bananas. Of course, you're going to have your sports drinks there in the bottle on your bike. You can mix it up between fruit smoothies as well and some gels. Some of these items are going to be available on the tables throughout the course as well, so that's very, very handy. For runners then, it's a bit of a trickier situation for them. I suppose logistically, you can't put a croissant into your shorts, there's not enough space. And then from a gut perspective, runners are much more likely to experience some stomach issues when they're running. It's partly down to the biomechanics of running, but if you're a runner for this Tour de Picnic project, basically what you're looking at is keeping it to sports drinks and gels, and that's basically it.
Super, so matching the carbohydrates to match your exercise. And what about hydration?
Yeah, so matching carbohydrates first to our exercise, it's just important to note that the longer the session is, the more important it is to take carbohydrates during exercise. So it's more important for someone doing a 3-hour bicycle ride or an Ironman than it is for someone doing a 45-minute jog or a yoga class to replace carbohydrates whilst they exercise. On an equally important front then is the hydration element that you mentioned a minute ago. It is key that an athlete is well hydrated. It doesn't matter how many grams of carbs you get on board. If you're dehydrated, you'll fold like a shirt halfway through your exercise bout. For a cyclist, the easiest way to hydrate is to take about 1, if not 2 mouthfuls of fluids every 10 to 15 minutes on the bike, aiming for approximately 400 to 600 mils of fluids per hour. And if you're a runner, logistically, you're looking at getting 1 to 2 mouthfuls at 5k intervals. That tends to be what works really, really well for both sports. It's important to note as well that we want, if possible, athletes to go for isotonics, because that's going to have some sodium in it, and that's going to be better from a hydration perspective. If that's not possible though, Sinead, and you only have access to water, you can combine your water with some energy gels, which have a little bit of sodium in them, or you can get some electrolyte tablets, which again, they're basically just little tablets that have your electrolytes in them too. You can get them in pharmacies and health shops. Either will do the job for you.
So both those tactics, is it worth practicing them?
It's absolutely essential that you practice your tactics pre-competition day, Sinead, and the reason is there's massive variability in terms of how someone tolerates stuff during exercise. So, there are athletes who can easily drink a litre of fluids per hour, and there are some who can't drink more than 400 mils. I know some athletes who could literally eat porridge while they're running, and I know some people who, if they look at food, they'll feel sick. So it's important to find a way of ticking these boxes for fuel and fluid that works for you, and really getting to grips with that prior to your race day for minimal hassle, we'll say. That's the best way to go about it.
That seems pretty straightforward, maintaining the carbohydrates and hydration to optimise your performance.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, there's a lot of conflicting information out there, and for the most part, Sinead, people grossly overcomplicate this. It's actually very, very simple. If you stick to the basics, you'll not go wrong. So if you'd like some more information on your sports nutrition, this booklet is freely available to download on the National Dairy Council website at ndc.ie.